Hello and welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you with us for today's session. AI, Prompt Like a Pro, a practical business-focused look at how to unlock the full potential of AI tools like Microsoft Copilot and ChatGPT. I'm Rudy Noon, Chief Prompting Consultant at Turnkey Solutions. It's a real honor to introduce this webinar because I truly believe that what we're talking about today is crucial to success in today's business. Prompting isn't just a technical trick, it's a leadership skill. Whether you're just starting to explore AI or you've already begun experimenting, this session will give you a clear roadmap to move from curiosity to capability. And now, to officially kick things off, I'm honored to introduce someone who is leading the charge in protecting and empowering businesses worldwide. Please welcome the President of Turnkey Solutions, Henry Overton. Hello and welcome.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Rudy. And if you didn't notice, that was an AI generated video. So thank y'all very much for joining us. And I think we're live here, so we're going to get rolling and start talking through a lot of great conversation pointers, a lot of great tips for how you can use AI in your business. And hopefully you will find it really, really beneficial. A little bit about Turnkey Solutions real quickly. We help our clients and team members succeed by serving each other with cutting-edge technology and services with integrity, respect, and accountability. That's our mission statement. This is core to who we are, and hopefully you'll find this presentation lines up with that. And we have a lot of fun doing that, and we've had some great success, and it's all because of you, our clientele, and our team members. We've been serving clients across the U.S. since 1999. We provide managed services, co-managed services, a ton of other things that we'll talk about. There's a lot of other things that we do, but we provide those services for a host of different industries, and we really focus nowadays a lot on companies that are cybersecurity focused or really highly dependent on their IT. So without going into great detail, there's probably 200-300 different things that we do, from voice over IP to different products that we provide our clients, and data center services, cybersecurity consulting, risk assessments, day-to-day support for things like just help desk and fixing printers, selling new computers. But all that boils down to what does the customer need and what's important to them, and how can we help. One of the biggest things that we've had customers ask us a ton in the last year or two is, tell me more about AI. What do I need to be worried about? How can we prepare our business? How can we use this well? And that's what we're going to cover today, is just a little bit of what we've learned in the last few months, and a few tricks, techniques, tips that we feel is really applicable to pretty much everybody that's using AI or large language models or some of the other tools. So today we're going to cover the Executive's Guide to Prompting. I'm going to give you a really cool framework and a way to do that well, to prompt and get the best possible results. We're going to cover not only a specific framework, but some tips for making it easier to prompt and get the best results possible from it. I'm going to show you some real-world use cases from Microsoft 365's Copilot and some of the other AI tools that we've started to use and really love here at Turnkey, and some maybe not love quite so much, but we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about some really common pitfalls, problems, things that people do that we see a lot of times or that we've learned from here in our office. And we're going to give you some ideas on how to avoid that. And we're going to walk through how to lead with AI. So we're going to wrap up today's session talking about how do we use AI really effectively in your business. So I had fun reading the poll answers. Looks like a lot of y'all, 100% of people that answer the poll are using AI and in your business, and that's awesome. And 100% of y'all said you'd not been fooled by AI yet. So you all picked up that that Rudy was an AI generated video. Well done. I left the logo for the company that created that on the front, so hopefully that helped a little bit. All right, so let's get into it and talk a little bit about the foundational concepts here. There's a lot of conspiracy theory or fear or just apprehension when we talk about any new technology. AI is absolutely no different, and a lot of people are asking, is AI going to replace my job? Bill Gates has said there's only just 2 or 3 jobs that are going to survive this untouched. But what I would like to encourage you is that everybody that I talk with, every software engineer, every application developer, every major enterprise, every industry that we attend sessions from and learn from healthcare to construction and finance and everything in between, they're all saying the same thing, that we don't expect that AI is going to be replacing people anytime in the near future, but it is here to improve your capabilities. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. And one of the things that is a foundational idea, though, is at this point in time, you really need to think of AI as a new intern, a really good, excited, excellent intern. If you've ever hired an intern, this is your new favorite intern. This guy is working 24/7, always on call, never drinks your coffee, never makes a mess, doesn't even ask for a desk at the office. And he's always ready to help and bring new insights. He's smart, he's fast, available, he works quickly, and he's really eager, but he needs direction. So AI, we're going to talk about this in the following few slides. He really needs direction. So great employee or great intern just needs a lot of direction, a lot of boundaries, a lot of clarity about what your expectations, your goals, all that should be. So let's jump into it. Now, how do we give that direction? What's working really well? What's working well for turnkey? What's not? What are we seeing and what are we being advised from our partners? What's working well for our employees and a lot of our clients that have given us feedback as we prepared for this presentation? One of the things that we would start with is, as you're thinking about how do I use AI in my business, one of the tricks and certainly best pieces of advice we would give you is try different stuff. It's not just ChatGPT. There's a ton of different tools out there. There are more tools coming up every day in the AI world than we have seen tools pop up in 20-something years of doing IT. This is a really rapidly developing environment. So explore some of those other tools. Explore carefully, but try some of the other ones. We'll talk about them in a second. One of the ones that we love and use a lot here at Turnkey Solutions is Copilot from Microsoft. We use Perplexity, we use Canva, we use a lot of different tools, including ChatGPT, for different purposes, and we're very careful about how we're using them. They're all going to give you different answers. If you use the same type of AI tool, let's say an image generator, and you give it the exact same request, they're all going to give you different results. And that's because they're all from different programmers. They're all using different data sets. They've all been trained differently. So it's really important for you to keep experimenting. Heads up on this, that like just the verb Googling while we're searching the internet for stuff, it's really important that we learn this, that we start using AI in our businesses, because searching is being replaced with Googling, or Googling is being replaced, with AI prompting and allowing something like a Chat GPT or Copilot or Perplexity to search for you. So because they're able to bring in data sources from so many things way faster. And when you ask it a question, it's able to find the answer a little bit more comprehensively sometimes. So a lot of people are starting to, instead of Google something, they're asking their AI. for the same basic thing. Like, what's the cheapest price on a 32-inch TV? You'd be surprised how many people are using it for shopping. Couple big things. We just had a webinar last month with our cybersecurity attorney, Sarah Anderson. If you didn't watch it, I would really encourage you to go back and watch it. It's a fantastic presentation. She gave some really good pointers. When it comes to AI, she actually recommended, like, look, just don't use it right now. It's not ready for prime time. And we know all y'all are, or we know like something like 80% of people, according to a recent Lenovo survey, 80% of people are using it in the workplace. This tide is already here. It's probably impossible to stop it just yet. But at a bare minimum, don't use it for legal review, regulatory policy review. Don't use it for some of those things that have like direct legal ramifications, at least without a whole lot of review from your attorney at the end of the process. And always verify the AI output. Almost all the tools that give like large language models that give like text outputs, they almost all have something on the screen that says AI can make mistakes, double check, or verify the output. Not all of them do, but always verify the output, because the data that they're given is only as good as the data that they're consuming, and quality control and the correctness of the information that these AI, especially the large language models, is consuming, is if it's low quality data that there or a website or a blog that that is not correct, they don't know, and they're going to give you bad information. So watch for that. Now, taking it a bit step further, so we have some kind of foundational ideas and a little bit of precursor advice. What's a good way to kind of remember to always ask your prompt correctly, or how do we phrase the right question to the AI, no matter if it's Copilot or Gemini or Alexa 2.0 or ChatGPT, whatever the tool is you're using, the quality of the results that you're going to get is highly dependent on how you ask your question. So what I thought I would do is give you a framework here. It's just a quick little easy to remember 4-step process to phrase your questions highly effectively. If you Google or Perplexity or Ask Gemini, there's other frameworks out there too, right? You can ask it for other things, for other ways to do this. But I really like the CARE model. It's a simple and easy one to remember. CARE, C stands for context. Set the context. We'll talk about it a little bit more. So when you're asking a question, let the AI know, this is why I'm asking. This is the perspective I need. This is the context for the overall question. We'll give some examples. Action, specify what do you want it to do. Be very clear. I need this in a list format, or I need this, or I need this many words, or in this kind of output. So be very, very clear there. Describe the desired results. So I need this in a format that's similar to this, or I need this in very specific terms. You want to give it the results you're asking for, and provide an example. E stands for example. So provide a sample output or reference a sample output. If you want something similar to an article that you read on Forbes, maybe either link to it or give it a snippet from that article in Forbes. Or if you wrote a really good email to the same customer a couple months ago, give it a copy of that email or drop that in. Of course, be careful with what confidential information you put in, but give it examples. So to kind of walk through this again, C, context, set the context, save or preload or train some of the models or some of the tools, give you the ability to really train and educate the model, or like ChatGPT. If you use a specific instance of it, you might be able to give it some information about your company or about you, or how you want it to ask questions, and have it remember that for the next time. And if not, you want to specifically give it a lot of really good information every time. We'll give some examples on that in a little bit, but I thought I might give you a quick example real quickly. I've got a text file here that is, I know it's kind of hard to read, but that is something I use a lot when I'm preparing information, or I'm going to try something with ChatGPT or Copilot or one of the others. And if I'm asking it to generate information that would be helpful for somebody to understand turnkey solutions, I'll preload my company name, our website, some basic facts about it, what we do, our vision, our tagline, our mission, our 5 core value statements, our target market, who we talk to, things that make us unique. All of this, I don't want to type this every time, but I've saved it as a text file, and I actually keep it in OneNote, and I'll drop it in a lot of times, especially when I'm on maybe a model that does a good job of giving output, but can't store that information for tomorrow. And just be aware of that a lot of the models don't remember what you told them yesterday. So you got to be kind of context aware yourself there. So next up, action. Specify the action. We'll talk about it in a second, but tell it exactly what you want. Like, hey, speaking as this person, or hey, this is the information we want to kind of build from. I need you to do this. Like, walk me through the steps for doing this, or tell me how you would come up with the absolute best pineapple upside down cake, or whatever it is that you're asking for. Walk me through the steps for why you would create this set of parameters for this RFP, or give me the steps for that, or explain why. And we'll explain why that's helpful in a second. Results, describe the exact results. You got to be really specific, and you'll find that you get better at this as you go, or you'll find that you might want to change your results. So in 150 to 300 words, if you're writing something that has to fit in a certain spot, or in list format, or define limits, like don't say anything about this, do reference this, or explain this in very technical terms, or don't explain this in very technical terms. Explain it very colloquially, or explain it as if you were talking to somebody with a PhD in architecture, or whatever you're specifically trying to do. Give it highly specific result parameters, and you're going to get much better results. And then finally, provide a sample output. Like I said before, if you've had some really good emails, or if you wrote something that you're especially proud of, or in the imaging, in the AI image creation tools, you can actually upload an image that's similar to what you're trying to do and say, look, in the same format as this picture, give me a picture that looks like, that does this or shows these things. So CARE, remember that. It's going to really help you out. Context, give it the action you want, give it the results you want, and give it an example if at all humanly possible. As you go through that, you're going to find that you get better and better and better. In that context, and let me dig in a little bit of this. This is one of the things that has been the most useful for me in prompting, is really explain while you're talking context, really give it a fuller understanding of who you're trying to speak as. So a lot of times in my text or my preloading of information, I'll explain to it, hey, I've been doing this for 26 years. I have these certifications. This is the information I'm aware of, and speak from that perspective. Or if I'm trying to understand somebody else's perspective, I might say, from the perspective of a chief nursing officer at a privately held hospital, give me the concerns of what they might need from an IT partner, or so. Whatever the persona is that you're trying to understand or speak as, be very clear about that. So if you're replying to an email to somebody, you can actually tell it, hey, this guy is the CEO of this company, or he is the facilities manager, or whatever, and get much better results that way. Chain of thought. For complex and analytical steps, when you're talking action or the specific steps or how you want it to develop your answer, or how you want it to develop its kind of its suggestion, especially when it's a fairly complex task, ask the AI to reason things out and to show you its homework, basically. Tell it, give me the steps by which you're going to provide this answer. A lot of times that will slow the algorithm down a little bit and make it actually itemize the steps rather than previously, using a previously computed answer or just jumping straight to a blog article that says it has the answer. So it'll kind of force it to think a little deeper. And this works. All these tricks and techniques work better in some results or in some tools, or better in some contexts or situations than others, but that's a trick that you really should use from time to time. And this is one of the most important ones, is iterate and refine. Just because it gave you one answer doesn't mean you can't ask it, hey, can you refine that a little bit, or say it a little bit more friendly, or maybe provide a little more facts about why you suggested step 3, or can you say this a little bit more succinctly? I use that a lot because I need help with that. So I would suggest you always take the opportunity to iterate and refine. And that can also mean provide the same questions to the competing tool. So put your prompt in, your really well written prompt, and drop it into ChatGPT and Copilot and Perplexity and see what results they all three give you, and kind of work through that. Type it up one time, get 3 times the work, the results out of it, and you can see which one said it the best, or the way that I think would get the most impactful result for me. So I'll give you a quick example here, and why double checking is so important. I had a project not too long ago, just a few months ago, where I had to write a fairly succinct and concise summary of a pretty large and well-known cybersecurity framework, a set of checklists for do this, do that. If you want to be in compliance with this standard, do this, do that. There's hundreds of websites out there. And there's 18 specific things that it says to do. And I asked ChatGPT, Copilot, and Perplexity AI all to give me good answers in the end. And I refined it a bunch of times and got great results. And it was really impactful and helpful in doing it well. But the first time around, I asked the results, and it gave me completely wrong answers, all out of order. And I had to go back and it looked really good. It was very well written text and very helpful. But I don't know where it got the information from, and I think my initial kind of this fail was with ChatGPT, and there's probably 200 websites that have this information out there. It found the one website out there or something. It found the one source that listed all 18 steps in completely the wrong order, and I actually called it on it, and I said, "Hey, this is the wrong order." And bless its heart, it said, "Oh, you're right. Let me fix that for you." But you have to verify. So it was really a game changer in terms of helping me get the data out and get it in really good format. But I had to, by verifying it and checking it, I found a pretty substantial issue with the results. Another couple examples that I'll show is one of the things that I really feel is going to be incredibly helpful for everybody. I'll jump to that second one, is writing an email reply in Copilot with Microsoft Outlook. And I'm going to show you my inbox here, and I'm gonna look at this one email. Let's see, Stephanie, can you see my Outlook? Trying to show an email real quick. I'll let
Yes.
you. Awesome. Cool. Thank you. So I'm pulling up an email here, and I'm going to reply to it. Now, I got a Bank of America card, was locked thing. Looking at it, I can tell this is definitely fake. A. B, I don't really actually own a Bank of America card. So this is kind of a good example of phishing detection or just what to look for there. But we're not here to talk about that today. But I know this email isn't legit, but I'm going to answer it back and let Copilot give me an answer. This is a lot of fun. Using Copilot in Outlook, I can hit reply to this email, and this works beautifully for really almost any kind of communication, any kind of email. I can open up the email and I can say, Copilot, draft my reply. And what do you want to say? I'll pick kind of just a short version of the of what I want to pick, and I'll say is kind of focus on that one thing. It's going to say it's writing my email, and in just a split second, it's going to have a really, really well-written response. And of course, this is a live demo, so it's going to take a second. But there we go. Thanks for notification regarding the lock of my Bank of America card. I appreciate the proactive measures taken. And it's just really good response. Now, I'm not going to send this because these guys are scammers on the other end of this email, but you can give it a, keep it, discard. I didn't even read the email from Bank of America, but what I have is the ability now to have somebody or the AI read it and provide a thoughtful, well-written response that I do need to double check and slow down and understand before I tell them something. So that's one really good example of a tool that you can use today if you have Copilot turned on. Another one that we use a lot here at Turnkey is we do a ton of Teams meetings. I don't know about y'all, but we stay on Teams meetings. If I'm not on a Zoom meeting, I'm on a Teams, it feels like. There's you can go into a meeting that you just had that was finished. So you can go back a couple days ago, or let's say you missed a Teams meeting with some of your coworkers, and you want to kind of get caught up on it. Go back a few days, click on the meeting, and hit View Recap. And what the Copilot tool will do is generate a quick summary. And there's a few pages of it for this one meeting because it was a little bit of there was a lot of content that we discussed. So in this meeting, these are the things that happen, and it gives a quick little summary of that. And you don't have to watch the whole recording. So it's a really just a fantastic tool to do that. And this is kind of the data that you have access to. We use another tool at Turnkey a lot of times called Fathom. And it is a meeting recorder. There's a lot of those out there, like Copilot will do it, and Fireflies, but we like this Fathom tool. One thing that we find is that it does a really good job of recording the meeting and then providing a really powerful, simplified transcript at the end of the meeting. With you can dig through and find, like, where did Brenda ask a question, or where did I ask a question, or how many questions did I ask? And you can actually ask it some pretty powerful questions in the little Ask Fathom thing. Did everyone leave with clear assignments is what I asked, just kind of in my little quick example here. And it spits out yes, based on the transcript, it seems like the meetings, and these are the assignments that each person had. So it gives key takeaways and topics that were discussed. So not that I'm pitching any one specific product, but hopefully you can see, just kind of as an idea, that there are 3 or 4 ways right off the bat that you can really use AI powerfully in these language models and these generators. Now, one of the things that if you were here at the beginning of the webinar, you saw my good buddy Rudy introducing it. I didn't take the logo for Deep Reel off, just to kind of hopefully dissuade anybody who thought that was going to be the whole presentation. Although I have been to a webinar in the last few months from one of the security vendors where a good chunk of it was an AI, and he came on, and at the end he went a little further and had his own personage, his own image duplicated, which that's really pretty easy to do now. But you can see in there, I really enjoyed that that experience. We're playing with a couple different things for some training videos for internal purposes. But I did find this particularly really annoying. I'll share this again real quick. I'm just going to play this one little quick clip of it.
Please welcome the president of Turnkey Solutions, Henry Overton.
And why has he got to nod his head no when he's saying welcome Henry Overton? That drove me bonkers. I could not
Overton.
get it. I couldn't get it to stop doing that. So yeah, none of the tools are perfect just yet. You got to verify the output. If I was using this for real, I would have gone back and regenerated the thing and dialed up the emotion a little bit and maybe told it don't ever shake your head sideways, and you can do some fun things like that with that tool. So that's some quick examples of some tools that we're using and really enjoying and finding good success with. And now I'm going to jump to some things that we've learned, some common pitfalls that I would really heavily recommend you kind of slow it down just a little tiny bit and be very careful. I got all of these on the screen. We've got a ton of other resources with a bunch more about this that we'll explain to you and get you access to afterwards. And we're enjoying this conversation. So if any of y'all have questions after the fact, we can gladly jump on those and discuss. But first, rushing adoption, taking the first answer, like not verifying the data that you get, just using one AI, like if it's a fairly complex project or issue, try different models. I think they're all so up in the air. So try ChatGPT and Copilot and something else, especially while you're working through that. Don't skip the testing of it. Don't take that first answer. Well, second is don't use poor prompting. Being really vague or not clear enough is going to get you just disappointing results. And you're going to look at that and you're going to say, that was stupid. What a waste of my time. Or worse yet, you'll use it and you'll get bad results when you reply to your boss or reply to the customer and say something that was maybe just completely inaccurate or poorly written. So be very careful, give it really good instructions. Remember that CARE framework that we gave, and really double check the results. Read through it, make sure it makes sense, make sure what it says is what you would say, maybe just better written or more concise. Third biggest thing that I can say we're seeing a lot of people do is neglecting security or compliance or training inside your team. If you're not careful, I'll give you a simple example. If you're highly embedded into Office 365, you've got a lot of data in SharePoint and OneDrive and all the storage tools that are part of Office 365. If you're not careful, Copilot can ingest all of that. Because if you click it wrong or you say the wrong thing when you're setting up Copilot, it can have access to your entire SharePoint and OneDrive library, which means it can access everything that you've ever written, even like marketing information from 20 years ago that your company may have saved. So if I'm not careful, it's going to go off and say if I train Copilot on everything that we have saved here at Turnkey, even old marketing information, and we released it as a chatbot, for example, it might be going off and telling people on our website that, yeah, we love Windows XP. It's a great operating system. We really need to get you off of Windows 98 as soon as possible. It'll just give wrong information if you're not careful. So watch its security internally, and be careful with the security of how people put stuff into it. Like giving the AI access either by your prompt or by whatever plugins or APIs or folder or permissions access you give it. Giving it access to all that information is powerful and incredibly dangerous. A lot of the AI tools have very, let's just say, different security parameters and reporting parameters than what your company probably wants to do. So they can be corralled. Most of them can be used safely. You just have to be careful and very intentional about it. Compliance, same thing. You don't want to give it accidental access to, if you're a medical environment, say, or you're a CPA, you don't want to give it access to all of your customers' information. You might want to give it access through MFA and user prompting or tokens to a very limited set of the data. And finally, like not training your team is a huge no-no. So give your team training, and we'll talk about it again. But redo that training. Give them a written policy, like these are the tools you can use, and then revise that. Check with them. When we first wrote our policy for AI, we said you could only use ChatGPT and only for marketing, and you cannot paste any customer information in, and blah blah blah. And we were like very specific, but we was very restrictive. And we've since kind of lightened that up and adapted a little bit to some of our tools and programs that are using AI, whether we like it or not. And we do. Those that are using it, we have deployed them in our environment on purpose. But we have a very specific policy, and we revise it pretty frequently because the market is changing so frequently. So a couple quick pitfalls to watch out for, and then thinking, okay, so what do I do next? And like, how do I use this? That's, we can talk theoretical, and we can talk about some of the really great ideas and the really phenomenal power that is at your fingertips with Copilot and ChatGPT and Canva and all these different tools, Perplexity, that are just publicly available. But first, I would say for most of our customers, we're asking the question, like, what programs do you have at your office that you're using that let's list those out. Let's understand and get a really good inventory of what programs you're using right now that already have AI embedded, or maybe that software company is about to release a module or has released it and you just haven't turned it on or licensed it up. So really understand your business and understand what you've got, and you're probably already touching AI in some way, shape, or form. And maybe we need to dial that back, re-secure it, dive in deeper, go to some training webinars on that specific product, something. Write a company policy. Write a company policy. Please do that today. It can be 2 lines. We only allow this. Anything else is forbidden. It can be really simple. It might need to be a little bit longer than that, but have something that you can tell your employees, this is good, this is not good. We know the world is changing underneath our feet, and we're going to keep researching it. So revise that policy for a while, or after a little bit. But I would definitely like try some of these other tools, experiment with them, experiment very carefully. Don't give them unnecessary access. Don't put stuff into them that's confidential, but experiment. Like try the if you have Copilot with your 365 license, see what it does when you say, help me with the response, or use one of the other tools to, if you've got a particularly challenging email you've got to write, ask it to, hey, can you give me a help, give me a starter on this, and here's who I'm trying to talk to, and use that CARE framework. So a couple things that I would definitely recommend that you do. Now, specific challenges, what I would give everybody, things that I would say, here's what you really should try. Like if I'm explaining the first 3 things, it's kind of like saying you need a fitness program, right? Next is, here's this first exercise we're going to do. Here's my challenge for y'all, is try it. If you've not already, just try, like have one of the tools summarize an email for you, or help you, like draw. You can copy and paste non-confidential information, but if it's a long meeting transcript or a really long email or a manual on how to do something, drop it in and ask it, hey, can you summarize like the top 10 steps, and this is my education, or this is who I am, this is what I'm trying to do, I need help on this specific thing. Can you find it in this manual and summarize it and give me 3 steps on what to do next? Something like that. Draft or reply to an email, heck, maybe an email from me. But that would be fantastic, by the way, if you tell me like, hey, I used AI to do this. I'll be so proud of you. But draft or reply, like try a few variations, use Copilot, use ChatGPT, use Gemini, something like that. But drop the text of the email into one of those things and say, as long as I'm not emailing you confidential information, and say, can you help me understand this, or help me reply back, and this is what I want to focus on. And if you're using Copilot at your office, again, that's really very, very simple. You just hit reply and hit Copilot button. All right, so wrapping up and kind of putting a bow on this, and then we'll be glad to open some questions. Couple walkaways, things that if I could talk to anybody about this, and things that I really want everybody to absorb, and please, please, please don't walk away from this presentation without hearing me on this, is that AI is not going to replace you in our probable in our lifespan, unless you're like 5. Maybe it will by the time you're, yeah, but by the time you get to the workspace, but not in my lifetime. And everybody's saying that that I talk to, that it won't replace you, but it probably is going to equip people to do your job better, unless you're keeping up with it. Okay, so you got to use this tool so that you stay competitive in the marketplace, because other people are. And we got to learn as a group how to use it really well, like how to not make simple mistakes, how to get the most possible out of the right tools, because there's a bunch of different tools out there and they're evolving. And there's probably been 12 new tools that have come up while we've been talking here. But it's not going to replace you, but someone who uses AI really well, just there very well might. So be careful, but don't be hesitant. You're not too late. It's so early in this game. Get started now. Really start experimenting with it. Experiment carefully, cautiously, wisely, but do please experiment. Start small. Like, start small. Think about like the biggest problems that you've got, like that email that you don't want to read it because it's 400 pages long, or a big project that's a written thing. Think about like big issues that may not involve a whole lot of super confidential data or security related issues, and see how you can use it. Some of the AI tools to help you make those tasks easier and get them done quicker, more effectively, better, sound better on your emails, and experiment a lot. Experiment a lot on those. And if nothing else, please write a policy for your company. Please write a policy for your company about here's what's cool and here's what's not cool using AI, and then revise it regularly. Talk about it with your team. Ask them, hey, where are you finding tools or different AI models or things out there that our company could use better, that maybe we need to add that to the policy, or maybe we need to add different workflows or different things to it. So keep that policy revised and refreshed frequently. And from there, that's really the big stuff that we wanted to talk about today. If you need help or want to talk about it, there's so many resources. We absorb stuff on this minute by minute at Turnkey. We got a ton of tricks and tips and techniques and resources up at turnkeysol.com/AI. So turnkeysol.com/AI. We also put out, we've got almost a training course on Copilot and different things around that we've published via email. So we'll be glad to give you that just once a week or once every 7-8 days, on different things that you can use AI and checklists and guides and little things along that. So you can reach out to us and subscribe to that, or check out our newsletter, the TKS Sentinel. We've got tons of tips and techniques, not just on AI, but a lot of other powerful business impacting kind of questions or topics, usually very closely related to technology. And we would love to get you on both of those, or whatever you need help with. And you can get there either way. Email us at ask@turnkeysol.com, or give us a call, 225-751-4444. So that's all I've got for today. I really appreciate your joining us. It is such a fun conversation to have because it's new every minute. And probably most of y'all know more about this than I do, or a lot of y'all do, or there's somebody in your family or your teams that do. But we look forward to learning from you and learning from each other, and all of us getting better at this as we go. So with that, I'll tell you, we really appreciated your time, and we look forward to hearing from you by email. And let us know how we can help you use AI, technology, or anything to secure your business and empower your team to grow and succeed, and however you define that. So thank you all very much.